welcome to another episode of the Brain Ladle Trivia Podcast. I am your disgruntled host, Davo. With me, as always.
What happened to your gruntles?
You guys keep beating my gruntles out of me.
How long has it been
I can't remember the last time I won. I cannot remember the last time I won an episode.
Huh. Interesting.
So you guys have been... Well, the tilt that I horribly lost? No, that would be Neil winning the tilt.
No, you won a game in the tilt is what I'm saying.
Yeah, you won colors.
I won colors. Okay, that was over a month ago. I'm on a bit of a losing streak.
Could be 2 months by the time we air this.
Oh.
You know, I try to look at the bright side of life, Neil. I'm hoping that'll change. Kels, how are you doing?
Doing just fine, Davo.
You seem like you have the glow of winning about you.
Well, I guarantee I won't lose this game.
See?
I'm putting money on it.
That's bold. Why do you think you won't lose?
Oh, because I'm not playing. I'm posing the questions to you two.
Well, there's your guarantee.
I play safely out here.
So what is the topic for today?
Well, it's a little something I like to call respect my authority.
Oh.
Respec?
Respect. No T. Don't put a T on that.
Right. But you want to put us to...
Does that have a K on the end?
Put one on the end if you like to, Neil.
And then
that's just because I like.
Is it authority or authorite?
It's T.
Okay.
We'll go T.
I mean, I've heard it both ways.
Are we going to put some respect on your name there, Kels?
I'll give me all mine. Respect on it.
Put some respect on that name.
I will give you your propers.
Indeed, sir.
Well, I'm curious to see what that's about.
I am too, but out of respect for the way we do things around here, Neil, what are the rules?
We have a topic. Apparently, it's respect my authority today, and there's 6 categories of 4 questions each. Each question is worth 10 points, and there may be a few bonus points thrown in from time to time. And then a final question where we can bet all or none or somewhere in between of our points that we have at that point. I said points an awful lot there, I think.
You tend to get a lot of them, so it makes sense.
We got points to spare.
All right, so we ready to jump into this one?
Absolutely. I'm going to get back in the saddle and giddy up. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm trying too hard.
Maybe. Relax.
Let's
man.
play.
Come to you. All right. Category 1. Coach 'em up.
Oh.
Neil's favorite topic, sports.
Yay.
Number 1. The coach of the 1969 NBA champions holds a very special place in history. He was an integral part of the previous year's championship team and became the first African-American coach to win an NBA title. Name this Hall of Fame player/coach.
69 Celtics.
I'm locked in.
Davo's locked in.
Trying to think of any basketball players that would have been a coach in 69, and I don't know any. Okay, I'm locked in.
All right. Davo, you locked in first. Who'd you come up with?
If I recall correctly, he was not just a coach, he was a player coach. So I put down Bill Russell.
Interesting choice. Neil, what did you come up with?
I said Wilt Chamberlain. I don't know if he ever coached anything.
Well, Bill Russell was the first and only, to my knowledge, NBA player coach to win an NBA title in 1969. So, Davo, you are correct, sir.
Woohoo!
Did Wilt Chamberlain ever coach? I
Wilt
don't think he ever
Chamberlain.
did he?
No, he wasn't so much a coach as he was a talent scout.
Ah,
He had an eye for talent and engaged in many tryouts.
that I did not know. Thank you, Dave.
Yeah, 10,000 of them according to his book.
All right, number 2. What 1970s Yankee skipper delivered success, but often butted heads with the team's owner and even the team's star player?
Before I lock in with my answer, I would just like to say congratulations to the Boston Red Sox for winning the World Series this year, and it's a beautiful thing. Locked in.
Do you have to do that if you answer any question about the Yankees?
Yes, I do.
Okay, I was just making sure.
It's contractually obligated.
Okay, I didn't know you had been signed, but it's good to know.
By both the Boston Baked Bean Company and the Boston Cream Pie Company.
Oh,
I'm locked in.
I give you the bacon.
It's a lucrative bonus, but man, sugar makes me sleepy now.
Old man gut. All right.
Old man gut.
Neil, what did you get?
I could only think of one, and I think he's way earlier. I know it seems like I remember there was some kind of like a skinny guy who was a manager in the 70s for the Yankees who was really volatile, but I have no idea what his name is. So I just went with Yogi Berra.
Yogi Berra. Davo, who'd you come up with?
I went with Billy Martin.
Billy Martin is correct.
Yeah, that's the guy I couldn't think of the name of.
Yeah, you described
Wasn't
him.
he to a T?
Yeah.
Wasn't he fired twice in a season?
Yes, he was. I want to say he did like 5 stints with the Yankees.
Yeah. Steinbrenner and Martin, they just couldn't quit each other.
Number 3. Who is the only coach in NFL history to reach 4 straight Super Bowls? Bonus, 2 points if you can name the teams, 2 points apiece if you can name the teams that he faced.
I'm locked in. With one of the 3 coaches I could name off the top of my head. When you have so few to choose from, it doesn't take very long to pick one at random.
That's pretty solid logic.
I'm locked in.
All right. Davo, what'd you come up with?
I went with Marv Levy, the Buffalo Bills. They faced the Dallas Cowboys twice, the Washington Redskins, and the New York Giants.
And Neil?
I was kind of torn between Don Shula and Tom Landry, and ended up going with Tom Landry. And I don't know. Pittsburgh.
Well, the answer is Marvelous Marvin Levy.
Not Marvelous Marvin Hagler.
Not to be confused with.
And
And
we're so similar.
very, very mean left hooks. But they faced the Giants first, then the Redskins, and then the Cowboys twice. But you only get 2 points for the Cowboys.
That's okay.
Correct answer for Davo, plus bonus. So number 4. The Alabama Crimson Tide under coach Nick Saban have been a perennial force in college football, winning 5 national titles and losing very few games. The last time the Tide lost by double digits was in 2004 to another SEC team coached by what man?
2004? It's been 14 years since they've lost by double digits?
Yes.
Good Lord.
I don't even know what the question was asking, but it really doesn't matter.
Who was the coach of the team that last beat the Tide by double digits?
I'm locked in with someone.
I'm locked in
Can
as
I throw
well.
in a late bonus?
Yeah.
Would you like a late bonus? Would that be cool? 5 points if you can tell me the team that beat them.
Well, I'm locked in with a coach and a team.
Okay.
Yeah, I am too.
All right. Neil, who you
I
got?
think there was a coach once called Spurrier, maybe still is for all I know. And I'm thinking FSU, Florida State.
Okay. Davo.
I went with Les Miles, and I believe he coached the LSU Tigers.
Well, Davo,
Hmm.
you get 5 points.
That was
You
LSU.
got LSU right.
Okay.
It was LSU. But the coach was Nick Saban.
Oh my god. So the last time a Nick Saban Alabama lost by double digits was to the coach that's coaching them currently.
That is correct.
Oh my god.
Huh.
So, after round 1, do we have scores?
Well, one of us has a score.
A
Davo has a
shocking
score.
reversal of fortune.
Davo has a score of 35, and Neil has a score of 0, which I guess technically is a score, but it's just a very low one.
Well, we got your tough subject out of the way first, Neil.
I believe you're missing some bonus points for me.
Am I?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, he got six for the 3 teams
okay.
that the Bills faced.
Okay, so in that case, it is 41 for Davo and 0 for Neil.
But I got a feeling business is about to pick up.
I think so. I needed to sprint out into that early lead since sports came up because, damn.
Well, let's not get a Charlie horse right now because we're moving into politics.
Okay.
All right, for this round, I am going to give you vice presidents, and I want you to tell me the president that they served under.
Okay.
Gotcha.
All right. All right, number 1. We got Ron Burr and George Clinton.
Oh man, Ron.
I'm locked in.
I'm locked in as well.
All right, Neil, who you got?
I believe it was Mr. Jefferson.
Okay, and Davo?
I believe it was Mr. Adams. Papa Adams, as he liked to be called.
The correct answer is Mr. Thomas Jefferson.
Very nice.
Could be the start of something beautiful, Neil. All right, number 2. George Clinton and Elbridge Gary.
Elbridge Gary?
Elbridge Gary. I don't like repeating myself, so you're going to have to catch that the first time.
I'm locked in. You just wanted to say George Clinton in a political question, didn't you?
I want to say it 2 times. I'm a big fan of his work. He was a busy man being vice president and also taking us aboard the mothership, Parliament Funkadelic.
I don't think that's, well, maybe.
As a former president of the United States, I don't like to be questioned, Neil. Take me at my word.
Okay, I'm locked in.
Davo, who'd you come up with?
I said Mr. Madison.
All right, and then Neil.
I also went with Madison.
James Madison is correct.
Woo!
All right. Number 3. John Garner, Henry Wallace, and Harry Truman.
Locked in.
Do you need to hear those again?
No, I'm just thinking. I'm locked in.
All right. Davo, who'd you come up with?
I came up with the finest Democratic president ever, FDR.
Wow.
Next time with your answer, don't be so disrespectful. Neil, who'd you come up with?
I went with that hack of a Democrat, FDR.
Well, you will both be correct. Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Number 4. Thomas Hendricks. Then after a 4-year vacay, Adelaide Stevenson.
Locked in.
Oh, man. Locked in.
All right, Neil. Who'd you come up with?
Well, I think the key to your question is the 4 years later. So it had to be. There's only two that could have been, and one we just covered. The other one is Cleveland.
Davo.
Well, I thought Adelaide Stevenson ran for president in the 20th century against someone of note. I thought it was against Eisenhower. So I went with Truman.
A correct answer. Is my favorite Sesame Street character, Grover Cleveland.
I should have gone with my gut. I should have gone where I apologize, Mr. President. I should have.
I think the one you're thinking of, Davo, is his grandson or great grandson or something. I think they're related.
Oh, so that I wasn't. I was okay. There was another Adelaide Stevenson then.
That would be correct. I'm gonna need some scores after round 2.
Well, the scores are a little bit different. 40 for Neil and 61 for Davo.
Oh, the plot thickens. Thank you, Mr. President.
It did.
No problem. Love to be of service. All right. So
that was such a great get for the podcast. I mean, however
so
you
busy.
line that up, I know.
He's a very generous guy. Like he just happened to be in the neighborhood. So,
do you think he could get us on?
Yeah, just stop by.
You think he could get us on one of his Netflix specials? His Netflix shows that he's doing?
I don't know if it goes both ways. I don't know if he would be willing to do that for us. I mean, he probably wants to just keep us at this level until we like blow up, and then he has to have us on. But
that makes sense.
This is a good start on.
No, I'm glad he's
baby.
I don't want to sound ungrateful.
No, baby steps. No. All right. Round 3 is It's Lit.
Lit.
Number 1. In the beginning of what Arthur Miller play does the main character, Willie Loman's wife, Linda, suggest he ask his boss, Howard Wagner, to allow him to work in his home city so he won't have to travel?
Locked in.
Locked in.
All right, Neil. What'd you come up with?
I don't know the play at all, but I think Willie Loman is in Death of a Salesman.
All right, Davo.
It is Death of a Salesman. That is a wonderful play. It is bleak. It is heart-wrenching. It can make performances. It can make and break careers on the stage. And it just now occurred to me that the protagonist, his name is literally Low Man.
Yeah. Well, you both are correct. It is Death of a Salesman. Number 2. In A Christmas Carol, Bob Cratchit works for a horrible man by the name of Ebenezer Scrooge. Who was Scrooge's deceased partner?
Locked in.
I'm locked in too.
All right, Davo.
I had a momentary hiccup because I may have gotten the last half of this character's name wrong, but I'm going to be so embarrassed if I do.
Okay.
I put down Jacob Marley.
Okay. And Neil?
I, on the other hand, went with Marley, as in Marley's ghost.
You are both correct.
Good. Because
Marley. Oldest brother.
As I was writing it down, I wrote down Marl, and it was like, is it Marlowe? I was starting to freeze, but I powered through.
Well, good job, both of you. All right, question 3. Be careful when you hire this literary figure from children's fiction, for she takes things extremely literal. If you ask her to house sit, don't be surprised when you return home to find her perched on your roof. Name this woman.
Man,
I had quite a few of her books growing up.
I'm locked in with what I've got. I'm going with my gut.
Okay.
With my old man gut.
Easy on the sugar.
I have absolutely no idea. I'm locked in.
All right, Neil.
I said Mary Poppins because she can fly up on your roof.
That she could. She is a Time Lord. Davo. She is. Her bag was a TARDIS.
I wrote down Amelia Bedelia.
Well, sir, you are correct. Amelia Bedelia.
Hey! All right. My sister likes Amelia Bedelia.
I have, to my knowledge, never heard those words together like that before.
Are you serious?
Well, they are a lark. They are fun little kid novels. They're great.
Yeah, she made a sponge cake with a sponge, like it's like super literal.
She sounds kind of dumb.
But she's a sweetheart, Neil. Get to know her, and you'll feel the same way.
Yeah, I don't think I'm.
And it is a children's novel.
Okay. Number 4. In William Golding's Lord of the Flies, the role of Chief is first given to Ralph because he appears to be the most responsible and is in possession of what precious item?
Locked in.
I'm locked in too.
All right, Neil.
He had the conch or conch. I forget how it's pronounced.
Davo.
He had the conch.
The conch is correct. And that wraps up It's Lit. What do we have for scores at the half?
We have Neil with 70 and Davo continuing his nearly perfect game at 101.
So we have a Twitter that we like to use to talk to our fans, friends, and followers at Ladle Brain. We also have a wonderful Facebook page. You can check us out. And if you're feeling a little bit more than just communicative and you want to, as they say, put your money where your mouth is, we have a Patreon page that every little bit of the Patreon funds goes to making the show better and upgrading equipment and helping to produce different shows in the future and all sorts of good stuff. Susan L. is a patron, and she is wonderful. So check that out, along with the website, brainladletrivia.com, and all the various socially media internet thingies that we've got going on.
You're getting a little bit technical for people, Dava, with the social media thingies.
I'm sorry, I didn't. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. But I expect our audience will grasp what I'm talking about. They're very smart and lovely people.
Yeah, they'll pick up what you're putting down. All right, round 4. It's gonna be movie bosses. And if you fellas don't mind, I like to read this as one of my favorite movie bosses. Would that be cool?
Sure.
All right. Question 1, 1999. Gary Cole's place of employment is engulfed in flames, which all seems to stem from asking an employee to work on the weekend. Name that movie.
Locked in. I don't know who you're supposed to be, though.
Oh my gosh. Put some respect on Mr. Wallace's name.
Who?
Let me ask you a question. What does Marcellus Wallace look like?
I don't know who is that?
I'm locked in, by the way.
Okay. Davo.
I apologize. Mr. Wallace, I apologize. I'll handle this.
Oh.
Mr. Wallace made a stellar performance in Pulp Fiction.
Oh, I think I watched that once. I didn't care for it.
One time ain't enough. I'm gonna need you to increase that number.
I mean, you sound a little sleepy.
That's the last time I'm gonna be disrespected on this podcast.
Oh my gosh. Oh man. Well, I'm locked in. If we could move on to something more pleasant than the tension.
Neil, what did you come in with?
Office Space.
Davo?
Office Space.
You're both correct. Number 2, 1980. Dabney Coleman learns that being a sexist, egotistical, lying, hypocritical bigot does not pay when three of his employees chain him up in his own home. Name that movie.
Locked in.
Locked in, sir.
Davo.
Yeah.
Some people
Excuse me, Mr. Wallace, he really doesn't know.
Some people learn the hard way.
The answer that I have locked in with is 9 to 5.
And Neil?
9 to 5.
Both correct. Number 3, 1999 again. Zach Grenier gets to watch his employee, Edward Norton, beat himself up in his office after blackmailing him. I think old Eddie had a couple screws loose. Name that movie.
Locked in.
Locked in.
Neil.
Fight Club.
And Davo.
Fight Club.
Once again, both correct. You're doing real well in the early rounds, but in the 5th, you know what to do.
Yes, sir.
But on to number 4. 2011. Kevin Spacey kills Colin Farrell while his employee Jason Bateman looks on from a distance. Luckily for Bateman, he and his friends were planning on killing them both, so that saved them a bit of effort. Name that movie.
Locked in.
Locked in.
Davo.
Horrible Bosses.
And Neil.
I also said Horrible Bosses.
And Circle gets the square. I'm sorry. You both answered correctly. Well done in that category, gentlemen.
Thanks.
I genuinely appreciate it, sir. It's a real honor to have you.
Just knows when you gone, you stay gone, or you be gone.
Yes, sir.
All right, guys. So what are the scores after that round?
I still don't know who that is. But the scores are 110 for Neil and 141 for Davo.
All right. Round 5. A little something I like to call capo de tutti capi. Any of you know what that means?
Is it the boss of bosses?
Boss of all bosses.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to talk about La Cosa Nostra.
Oh, no.
All right. Number 1.
You know, maybe in the 5th, I will go down. This is crazy.
All right.
It's like Mr. Wallace set me up.
Dude knows what he's talking about, man. He's connected.
That's how. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Number 1. What famous gangster entrusted top lieutenant to Al Capone ran the Chicago outfit after Capone was sent to prison?
Locked in. I went through my gangster phase. I think everybody has a gangster phase where they're really into it, you know.
Yeah.
I went through mine when I was about 18 to 20. You know, devouring every book you could find about the about the mob.
Mm-hmm.
And it just fell away pretty quickly. I think I got back into comic books or something. But there was a time when it may have been reawakened by the fantastic gangster movie that I'm struggling to name right now that came out in the 90s. Goodfellas. Yeah, I think that helped reawaken it.
Well, Goodfellas is Quite the classic.
I'm locked in, by the way.
Davo, you rang in first. What'd you come up with?
I went with Lansky.
Would you be referring to Meyer Lansky?
Yeah, I couldn't remember if it was Meyer or Myers, so I just went with the last name.
Lansky. Okay. And Neil, who'd you come up with?
I think this might actually be a rival of his. I put Lucky Luciano.
Charles Luciano. Well, the correct answer was Frank Nitti.
Okay.
Well, of course.
Frank Nitti.
That was my fifth or sixth guess.
So close.
Gotta go down the lineup. All right. Speaking of it, Neil, or speaking of him, number 2. The brainchild of Charles Luciano. What was the name of the Mafia Board of Directors established in 1931 that brought together the 7 most powerful families in the country?
Locked in.
Man.
The name of the Mafia Board of Directors.
I just want you to know my performance in this category is a direct result of Marcellus Wallace. I'm locked in.
All right, Neil, who'd you come up with?
I think.
Or what did you come up with? I'm sorry.
I think it is called The Commission.
Okay. And Davo?
I went with The Outfit.
The Outfit. The correct answer is The Commission.
Mm.
Yeah. A bit of a trivia nugget. The commission was established so that there wouldn't be a boss of all bosses, because that led to a lot of conflict. Because, I mean, one guy running, several outfits can lead to trouble. So they sat at a round table. They didn't want, the more customary table, because wanted to be, reinforced that there was no head. But everybody was equal. Brought them all together. So the 5 families from New York City, the Chicago outfit, and I forget the family that ran in Buffalo, but those were the families.
Buffalo? Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. 31. Okay.
All right. Number 3, 1972. Sonny Corleone to Tom Hagen. Pop had Janko, look what I got. What position did Janko hold in the family that Sonny was referring to? Was it A, underboss, B, consigliere, C, capo regime, or D, soldato?
Who did he say it to?
He said this to Tom Hagen, his adopted brother. Or in the movie, James Caan to Robert Duvall.
I'm locked in.
I'm locked in.
All right, Davo.
I seem to recall one of the conflicts of the film, The Godfather, was Sonny was a pretty tempestuous fellow, and he wanted someone who could go to war with him. But the position that he's referring to was filled by Tom Hagen, who is not suited for that. So I am going to go with consigliere.
Neil.
Consigliere.
Why are you laughing at me?
It was the pronunciation.
What is it? How do you pronounce it?
It's consigliere.
That's what I said, consigliere.
Hey, Dave speaks Italian just fine.
You're both.
Yeah, I like Italian.
I don't think we have any Italian listeners, so at least nobody from Italy.
We're going to make sure we don't with my consigliere.
Well, you both.
My apologies to all of our listeners.
I apologize as well, but you're both correct. Consigliere is the correct answer.
See, that sounds like you're saying Council Yeti.
Consigliere.
It when I hear you say it, it sounds like you're asking your lawyer, who is also Sasquatch, to
not
preside over something.
Not Consul Yeti.
Council Yeti.
Consul Yeti.
We speak American on this podcast.
I was born in Southern Arkansas. I was born in Southern Arkansas. My R at the end doesn't roll the right way, so you have to forgive me. But it sounds better than
You're fine. Consigliere?
Yeah, it sounds a lot better than that.
I didn't know how to pronounce that word when I read it, so it's phonetic, and it's stuck with me, okay?
Okay, all right, moving on.
Please.
With the rise, I'm sorry. What were you saying, Neil?
I said, please move on.
He's desperate. He's desperate for us to move away from consiglierisms.
Okay. All right, number 4. With the rise of Carlo Gambino, the Gambino crime family became the most powerful crime family, and Carlo was given the title of Capo di Tutti Capi by the media, as was his successors, Paul Castellano from 1976 to 85, and What Dapper Don from 1985 to 1992.
Locked in.
I'm locked in.
All right, Neil.
I don't know anything except that the Dapper Don, I'm pretty sure it was John Gotti.
Okay, and Davo?
John Gotti, the Teflon Don.
You're both correct. All right, and that wraps up round 5. What are the scores looking like?
140 for Neil and 161 for Davo.
It's tightened up a bit.
It has.
Yeah. So let's see how round 6 treats you both. And we're going to be dealing with video games.
Yay!
You didn't sound too excited, Neil. Are you all right?
So no, I'm super excited.
All right. Number 1. In what game do you have to vanquish Great Tiger, Ball Bull, and King Hippo before taking on the incredibly difficult champion boss?
Locked in.
Locked in, I guess.
Davo?
Mike Tyson's Punch-Out.
And Neil?
I guess Mortal Kombat. I don't know.
The correct answer, Mike Tyson's Punch-Out.
Woo!
Did you know that there's a version of that game in which Mike Tyson isn't the final boss?
I did not.
Well,
Who's the final boss?
Now I forgot his name. I think it's the Sandman. No, is it Sandman?
Okay.
Yeah, Sandman replaces him as the final boss. It was a licensing thing after a while.
Right.
Yeah, so I played both versions growing up and got confused getting to the end when Mike Tyson went there. But also happy because Mike Tyson would destroy you.
That was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Never played it.
And your only recourse is get good.
You never played it, Neil?
No. That was on the NES, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I never had an NES.
Oh.
It's kind of a classic if you can find it. It's really fun to play.
Yeah, it's boxing.
Didn't they have one on the Wii that was motion?
I had one on the Wii. There was a Super Punch-Out on the Super Nintendo. I never played that one.
Nice.
Yeah, but classic. If you can, you should play. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2. Bowser is Mario's arch nemesis, except in Super Mario Bros. 2, in which a villainous frog was his final adversary. What was the name of this tyrant that cursed the dreamland of Subcon and its people?
You know, I never got to the end of Super Mario 2.
Never?
Never.
I never got to the beginning of it.
It was really fun. I enjoyed Super Mario 2.
It's weird but fun.
Yeah, there's a video on YouTube where they explain why it is so different from the original and the third Super Mario Brothers. It's like really good. It's basically like Mario put on top of another successful game that released in Japan. Well, not as successful as Super Mario, but they basically like revamped this game and put, Mario, Luigi, and Toad and Peach in the place of its original characters. It's a really interesting video.
It's essentially a reskin.
Yeah, essentially. Because the original Super Mario Brothers 2 was incredibly difficult. Like ridiculously difficult.
Well, I'm locked in with an answer. I really don't know, but I'm going to give it a shot.
Okay. Neil, you still pondering?
Oh no, I like that.
Okay, I'm sorry. All right. Well, let's hear what your no idea was, Neil.
I feel like I've said I have no idea an awful lot in this episode. I said Evil Yoshi. And I know he's not a turtle, but I don't know.
Darth Yoshi?
Basically. Yoshi with the black hair slicked back, with the mustache.
Yeah, not a mustache.
Okay. And Davo?
I said Croaker, because that sounds like an evil toad.
It does. Well, you were closer to getting this. I mean, not really, but you were in the same vein. His name was Wart. Wart.
Oh.
Villainous frog named Wart.
Well, there you go.
All right, number 3. You see the bosses for this 1980 arcade smash on every level, and you must use cunning maneuvers to survive. But beware, Inky is a beast. Name this game. For bonus, if you like, 2 points for each of the bosses' names. I basically gave you one already, but
I'm locked in.
Okay.
I'm locked in as well.
All right, Neil, you locked in first?
The game would be Pac-Man, and the ghosts are, in no particular order, Inky, Blinky, Pinky, and Clyde.
Okay. Davo?
Pac-Man, Inky, Blinky, Pinky, and Clyde.
You are both correct, plus bonus. Well done. Did you know that they had that Inky, Pinky, Blinky, and Clyde were their nicknames and not their actual names?
What are their actual names?
Well, trivia nugget time. Blinky's name was Shadow. Pinky's name is Speedy. Inky's name is Bashful. And Clyde, in what seems like a total flip around, his real name is Pokey. Usually your name would be Clyde.
I don't think you could.
And your nickname would be Pokey, but this is flipped.
See, why would you need a nickname of Blinky if your actual name is Shadow?
Or Speedy, or Bashful.
Well, yeah.
Hey, I didn't design the game. I was I wasn't alive.
Yeah. I was a wee lad.
Okay. And the final question in video games. The Evil Queen is the final boss in this 1991 NES game, but very few players got to face her, probably because they couldn't make it through the ridiculously treacherous Turbo Tunnel level. Name this game.
Locked in.
That sounds like a bit of pain with that lock in, Davo.
Yeah.
I'm locked in.
All right, Davo, what'd you come up with?
I said Battletoads.
Battletoads. Okay. Neil?
Again, never having had a Nintendo system, I'm at a slight disadvantage. I guess Mario Kart, because I figured you could go through a tunnel in Mario Kart, right?
There were tunnels.
Yeah.
but it's a little before Mario Kart's time with the NES. So the correct answer is Battletoads.
Check you out.
It was that game and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game.
Oh,
Trapped in time or something.
That water
like that,
level
where you're swimming underwater,
trying to defuse the bombs. Yeah, it was.
Yes.
I read some. I don't know if it was a conspiracy theory or not. I feel like it's probably more true, but with stores, renting video games, like they made Battletoads like harder so that people would have to like rent it more in order to try to beat it.
This is some Blockbusters collusion or something.
Hey man, I ain't make it up. I'm just saying it makes sense.
That's crazy. I think that's some folks who didn't practice the all-knowing, all-powerful get good.
Hey man, you gotta go to school, you gotta do yard work. Come on, man. It's hard to just sit in front of a TV unless you get it on Friday night.
Yeah, that's when you get it after school. Friday night after school.
Yeah. And hope you don't have to
Play
go
it
to
till you can't straighten your thumb out.
That's dedication.
You're begging off at church on Sunday.
I had a very different childhood than you guys did. We couldn't go.
I know, man.
We couldn't go rent games for my Atari 2600.
Oh man, did I have a 2600?
I had a 2600.
Didn't they come out with an Atari after that?
I love it.
Several.
The 4800.
I think I had the 48.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Then I had an Atari 800 also, and then an Atari 5200. We were kind of Atari folks for some reason.
Man, Atari was fun.
And devotees. Yeah, it was good game, good gaming system.
I had Dr. J versus Bird 1-on-1.
It was so lifelike.
That's where I fell in love with the game of basketball.
I know.
All right. At the end of regulation, what are our scores?
158 for Neil, and Dave couldn't quite make it to 200. He got 199.
This is not a runaway at all.
No.
Well, you know what it's time for. We've all been waiting for it. It's that final round.
Yeah.
Now, I want you to make your wagers based on how comfortable you feel about who's the boss.
The TV show?
It's TV related. I'll give you that much. Who's the boss?
I'm locked in with my wager.
All right.
What is your point total, Neil?
158.
158.
It's gonna do a little math over there.
Gotta do my gazintas.
You say that so often. I feel like gazintas must be a reference to something, but I have no idea what.
I don't know what it means either, but I'm very interested to hear what this means.
Well, I had a dear friend who passed away a few years ago, and he would always talk about doing his gazintas. This guy's a very, very intelligent guy, an engineer, and he always wanted to do his gazintas. And finally, I'm like, "What's a gazinta?" I have no idea what you're talking about. Thinking it's some kind of highbrow math term. It's something beyond my algebra 2 level. and he's like, well, 5 goes into 10 twice, and 3 goes into 9. It goes into 9 3 times.
I'm teaching my children that.
Gazintas. Got to get them to do their gazintas.
I love that.
That's a shout out to you, Maha. I am now done with my gazintas.
All right. Well, prepare yourself, gentlemen. In my hand, I hold a list of 14 television authority figures. I'm going to list them off, and I want you to name the shows in which they appeared on. And only for one of these, I need you to tell me that I want you to tell me the first show that they appeared on as an authority figure. Because they appeared in a different show. Okay. I want the first one. Now to 14. I'm thinking 9 is fair for full credit. Here we go. Number 1, Lou Grant.
Okay.
Number 2, Mel Cooley. Number 3, Michael Scott. Number 4, Jack Donaghy. Number 5, Louis De Palma. Number 6, Marlo Stanfield.
Marlo.
Number 7, Roger Sterling. Number 8, Josiah Bartlett. Number 9, Ron Swanson. Number 10, Miranda Bailey. Number 11, The Chief. Number 12, Ari Gold. Number 13, Charles Townsend. And number 14, Larry Tate. I have never in my life felt like I was reading off the names for a graduation before until right now.
Please hold your applause until everybody's gotten their diplomas.
I've never seen that work.
Okay, well, I feel good. I've got 9 now, but I want to think about the others for a few minutes to pad my score a little bit.
Okay, I'm good. I'm good.
I'm locked in.
All right, gents. Let's take it from the top. Number 1, Lou Grant was from the Mary Tyler Moore Show.
Got it.
Ding ding.
All right. Number 2, Mel Cooley, the Dick Van Dyke Show.
That was one I had to think about, but I came up with it eventually.
Oh.
I did not get it.
All right. Michael Scott was from The Office.
Ding ding.
All right. Jack Donaghy, 30 Rock.
Ding ding.
All right. Louis De Palma, Taxi.
Got it. I loved that show back in the day. That was
Man, that's so funny.
That short guy. What's his name?
Danny DeVito.
Danny
DeVito.
Yeah.
Oh, he was so horrible. He was such a horrible person. It was so funny.
He was in every way imaginable. All right. Number 6, Marlo Stanfield, The Wire.
Nope.
No, sir.
Oh, man, it's one of the greatest TV shows ever. All right. Roger Sterling, Mad Men.
No.
I got it.
I tried watching that once.
A little too mad for you?
Yeah, I just didn't get it.
All right. Josiah Bartlett, West Wing.
I got that one. Just from the last name Bartlett.
Did not get it.
Yeah, President Bartlett. All right. Ron Swanson, Parks and Recreation.
Got it.
Got it.
Miranda Bailey, Grey's Anatomy.
Got it.
Nope.
The Chief, Get Smart.
Oh, of course. No, I didn't get that.
I got that one.
Did you really? I'm so happy about
Yeah.
that one. Ari Gold, Entourage.
I got that one somehow. That's another one I never saw, but I the name enough.
Well played. Charles Townsend, Charlie's Angels.
Got it.
Nope.
And Larry Tate from a little show called Bewitched.
Got it.
No. I didn't do well that time, guys.
All right, gentlemen. How many did you get, Davo?
7.
7. Neil, how many did you get?
I got 11.
Oh.
I guess while you guys were playing video games, I was watching TV.
All right. Now it comes down to the wagers. So, Neil, you were trailing in this one. What did you wager, sir?
I had to double down. I bet 158 to end up with 316.
Oh my gosh. Big bucks, no whammies. Davo, what did you wager?
Well, anticipating his double down, I had to bet more than that. I bet 160. Leaves me at 39.
So the winner is Neil. Congratulations, sir.
I think Neil has a new nickname.
What's that?
He is Mr. 300.
Really? God.
I literally had not. I didn't lead a single time. I didn't even come close until the final question.
Well, that's the way this cookie crumbles.
Well played to both of you.
Those are good questions.
Congratulations, Neil.
Thank you.
I enjoyed the questions thoroughly, except for the last one, of course.
I'm glad.
I only enjoyed 50% of that question. So if you would like to enjoy 100% of our excellent content, check us out on Twitter at LadleBrain, at our website, brainladletrivia.com. We're on Facebook. You can email us, Kels at brainladle.com, Neil at brainladle.com, or Davo at brainladle.com. You can also check out our Patreon page. We're out there. We love our patrons. Susan L. We like our listeners. We like Liz. We like Allison. We like Andy. We like Lexi. So from all of us here at the Brain Ladle Trivia Podcast, I am your still dejected host, Davo, with Kels.
By Menon.
What?
And Neil.
I'm still I'm now extra gruntled.
Signing off.
The preceding podcast was presented by Brain Ladle Productions. All rights reserved.
Ooh, that's wonderful.
What the hell was that?
The ghost of Marv Levy.